Hello, everyone. I'm absolutely excited to announce that our guest speaker today is Precious L. Williams, also known as the Killer Pitchmaster, and she has appeared on Shark Tank and on several channels and a movie as well. And she is an international speaker and an author of one of the best selling business books out there. She is a 13-time award winner and the list goes on and on, but that would take me days. So I'm going to give Precious the lead now. And Precious, so welcome to the Fempreneur community.
Hey,
And
everybody.
we're so glad to have you here. Please share with us your insights and your journey to the top. How was it? Was it a roller coaster ride or was it all smooth sailing?
Well, truly, the truth of the matter is, it has been a roller coaster ride. It's been a roller coaster ride. And, I'm from first of all, let me introduce myself properly. Good day, everyone. Good day, the Fempreneur community. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And what I do is I teach the art and the science of those killer elevator pitches, media pitches, investor pitches, and speaking pitches. Since we're in the middle of a pandemic, um, an economic downturn, and social unrest, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are afraid that they cannot attract their ideal clients. They can never get the big companies to look at them to become corporate trainers, or that they're just going to suffer in the house and just do nothing. And what I want you all to know today is don't believe that. Yes, we live in a day and a time where a lot of people are struggling. And then what some people realize is in every tragedy, in every bad situation, there's opportunities. And one of the things that my clients and I are doing right now is we're actually thriving in the midst of this. I know it sounds crazy. I'm a Black woman from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. What do I know about business? What do I know about pitching to big brands and companies? Well, first, some of my clients include LinkedIn, Microsoft, Google, and a host of other, smaller companies around the world. So when I create pitches, I work with law firms, financial services companies. I'm brought into a variety of companies to create sales training courses, to create pitch mastery courses. How do you truly attract your target market? And I'm also the #1 bestseller of Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for women entrepreneurs and speakers only. Yes, that was a #1 bestseller. And last week, my second book, The Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook debuted at #1 last week. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. We're going to have a lot of fun today.
Yes, you're the maestro.
Huh?
You're the maestro.
Thank you. So we're gonna have a lot of fun today. Has this been a roller coaster ride? Yes. I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. I grew up in extreme poverty. So I know what it's like to go hungry, eat out of garbage cans, live in places with no heat, no hot water, and no electricity. I don't ever want to go back to that. I am the first person in my family to have a college degree, and I also have a law degree. I was an attorney from 2009 to 2016. In 2011, I went to start my first company. I'm Black. It's not a tech company. I don't have an Ivy League degree. And somehow, through the power of pitching, my first pitch ever got me on national television. My second pitch on MSNBC got me $500,000 when I had a negative $400 balance in my bank account. So when I tell you pitching can work in a variety of situations, it really can. There are some of you out there who are looking for a great job opportunity, a great position, high paying. You can use pitching to set yourself apart from others. How you talk about yourself, the way you bring in your achievements and the things that you've been able to do in the past, your transferable skills, and wrap it up in a nice story that really puts you at the forefront. That's part of pitching too. And I also want to share with you that pitching is life. What you talk about and what you want people to be interested in is a pitch. If you want to talk about someone you're dating that you really don't like, if you want to talk about a job you hate, you want somebody to be interested and keep talking to you about it, where you're the focal point of attention. So let's be clear. Pitching is everything. And so, yes, it's been a roller coaster. 3.5 years ago, I was homeless, and I battled my way back from that. And now I'm living a beautiful blue home in Brooklyn, and I'm an international professional speaker. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a corporate trainer for the biggest companies in the world. So when I tell you that no matter how bad the situation looks, there's an opportunity there. And sometimes it means getting quiet to see what it is. So what do you see most people doing right now? Oh, I'm going to create a course. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. What audience do you have to sell it to? How have you nurtured your audience? How have you created your own lane to make people want to work with you? Good questions, right? You can create all the courses in the world. How are you going to get them to look at it? Oh, I get it. You go on LinkedIn and you post about it. Okay. You go on Facebook and you post about it. Okay. That's not enough. You have to change your language to change the game. It's not just posting a link and hoping people come. It's really getting strategic and speaking to them in a way that they've never been spoken to before. It's really focusing on their pain points. What are people struggling with right now, right? So we often say, oh, they're struggling with bringing money in. They might have lost their jobs and stuff like that. Okay. So what do you do? What do you bring to the table that's unique? Do you save them time? Do you save them money? Do you give them the ability to do things in a faster, efficient way? What do you do? But if you can't address your audience's pain points, you've lost the game. You can say you do this and you do that. Do you have any testimonials? Has anybody worked with you that said, oh, you did something awesome? Did you have a pilot program and you got great results from it? So a lot of people are like, well, Precious, you've been a speaker for 25 years. I didn't start getting known until 2012.
So, Precious, how was it the first time when you had your first public speaking session? How nervous were you? How was it like?
Well, I was 16 years old, so I wasn't nervous.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't nervous. First said I've been speaking for 25 years. I'm 41. So I wasn't nervous. I think I was speaking before the mayor of the city of St. Louis. And my grandmother and I weren't told that's where we were going. So when I got there and I'm at this big swanky event, again, I grew up in the inner city. So I didn't grow up with opulence. I didn't grow up with just that. So when I walked in, that blew my mind. Like, where are we? And then my English teacher wrote my speech. I hadn't practiced it beforehand, but when I placed it before me on the podium, I just knew how to deliver it. I knew. And then because I did so well, my next speaking engagement was before the governor of Missouri. So
you were a natural.
I'm natural at it. I'm very natural. But here's the thing, that even though I'm natural, I still work at it. And I invest in myself. That's why I go to conferences. That's why I work with certain coaches. That's why I do what I do. Because just because I know how to speak, that didn't teach me how to get corporate training gigs. It didn't teach me that.
Sorry to cut you. So how important is self-development, like through books? How can we develop ourselves more so, we get better at the game?
So one of the things I think that so there are a lot of great books out there on having a positive mindset, right? So I love Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, Think and Grow Rich, the regular version. I love How to Win Friends and Influence People. I like the ultimate,
my favorite book.
Right, The Ultimate Sales Machine. I actually like this book too. When I was in Canada a year ago, he was a keynote speaker. His name is Mike Lipkin, and it's called Dancing with Disruption. The reason why I like this book is because in every industry you can disrupt. You can change it, right? And is it hard? Yes. But knowing you have a vision and being able to move forward with it, with everyone saying, no, you can't, you're a woman. No, you can't, you're black. No, you're a person of color. No, you're a woman. No. And I'm here to tell you, in the beginning, people are supposed to say no to you because you're new. They're supposed to tell you it can't be done because they've never done it. So who do you take your cues from? Your Heavenly Father, the universe. You stay positive and you focus on your vision, not your reality. If I focused on my reality, I would have wound up with multiple baby daddies in the hood of St. Louis. But my vision since I was 5 years old, I knew I was going to live in New York City. And I'm the only one that got out of St. Louis, the only one in my family that got out, the only one. And so when I was growing up, I had to battle with my family, not my grandmother, my grandfather, but I battled with my family over, who do you think you are? You think you're so great. And it's like, no, I just don't want this life. I know there's more to life than St. Louis. So, you know, when I went to Atlanta and I got my Bachelor of Arts in English from Spelman College and I had a full scholarship, there was so much pressure on me. Because I had to do it. You know, I had to be the person that got through college, right? I had to be the one. Yes, I was a valedictorian in my class, but I was always called the smartest of the dumb. And to get through 4 years of college with tutoring and lessons and all of that, and to get out with magna cum laude Phi Beta Kappa, go on to a full scholarship at Georgetown University Law Center, get kicked out, start over at another law school, have a nervous breakdown, and still keep going no matter what. So I want you to live in your vision, not your reality. Yes, reality might say, I don't have a dime in my bank account. Reality may tell you that you will never get that far. Your vision will tell you that you can. Your vision, if you study any of the greats, so when you're reading these books by these great authors, do know that unless you started with money, most people don't start with money. And somehow they kept going. And somehow they got resourceful. They became hustlers. And they utilized every opportunity to put themselves out there. And I want to encourage every fempreneur listening, put yourself out there.
The thing is that everybody over here thinks that if you don't have the funds, then nothing can be done. It's the end of the world. And you know, you can't get ahead. So, Precious, where would you place funds?
So because I'm a Pitchmaster, what I did, because I had no money in the beginning, let's be clear, I had none. I quit working as an attorney. I quit all of my legal positions. I had negative $400. And God kept telling me, you're going to start this company. I have no money. I don't know anybody. I don't know any famous people. I don't have any connections. But I kept getting that voice, you're going to do it. And so, as you may have heard me say in other things, I went to the Small Business Awards ceremony here in New York years ago in 2011. I couldn't afford the ticket, so I put it on a credit card. Walked in and saw CNBC and MSNBC, the producers. I had no idea what I was going to say. I had no idea why I was there. I had no business cards. But I walked up to the producers at MSNBC. And I'm still shocked I did this, but I walked up, because I have audacity, so I shouldn't be shocked. I walked up to them and they were laughing and whatever. And of course I felt uneasy. I'm 327 pounds. Not what they're used to. I've been told that fat girls never get on television. So anyway, they asked me who I was. I said, thank you for asking. My name is Precious Williams, and I'm the proud founder and CEO of Curvy Girls Lingerie. We're the ultimate shopping experience for full-figure divas and plus-size fashionistas. And they started laughing.
Internationally.
Huh?
Do you ship internationally as well? Because we have lots of customers here.
Yeah. So they were just laughing at me, and I felt so bad. I felt like that's all I got. And they were like, no, 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 no. That was perfect. They were like, have you heard of our show Elevator Pitch? You know I didn't. But I said, of course, yes, yes, yes. No, I hadn't. And then they were like, we're going to bring the host of the show over to you. This is MSNBC. This is a national, this is Rockefeller Center here in New York. They're bringing me the host. She gets on stage. They bring her booking producer. And her booking producer just gave me this look like I wasn't worth the time of day. But she said, give me your elevator pitch. I had no idea what to say. None. And I just started talking. And even though my company was not real, it wasn't even on paper. It was nothing. It was just in my mind. And she said, stop. You can be on the show. I didn't even know that I was pitching. And so she asked me for my business card. And I said, I've been here all night. I don't have any more. And she gave me her business card. And the next thing I knew, I was being driven in a Cadillac Escalade to Rockefeller Center, where I did my pitch for real.
Wow.
And when it aired, for 2 weeks solid, my phone rang from investors who wanted to give me the $500,000, and they did. In the history of the show, my pitch is ranked in the top 5 ever. So am I saying that, having no money makes it easy? No, I'm actually saying be more resourceful. So you might think, okay, very few people ever, their first pitch gets them on national television. I get that, right? But where can you be? What networking group can you be in? What people can you talk to on LinkedIn or reach out to? Develop a relationship and see how it goes. So let me tell you what I do on LinkedIn multiple times a week. I reach out to my network, specific people in my network, and I'll ask, do they know of any speaking opportunities? Do they have any speaking opportunities at their firm? Do they know of people who, do they know of people who, any clients of theirs that could utilize my services? And when I started to ask, people knew how to help me. Because we think, as entrepreneurs, people just know what we do. But if you don't ask and then give them the opportunity to ask for questions like, well, who are you specifically looking for? Now they can go into their network and figure out who they can send your way. Another thing, be persistent with people. So like, you don't have to contact them every day. You can contact them every 2 weeks. You can contact them every month. The one thing I think you should have is, maybe a website. It doesn't have to be bells and whistles. It really doesn't. My first website, if you saw it, you'd cringe, but I still got clients because I asked for warm introductions. And where do people go when they do warm introductions? They go to LinkedIn, not your website. So then they see who you're connected with, see the things that you're doing. They see the things that you're getting ready to do. So always have the big ask somewhere, even if it's not in the first conversation, it can be in the 10th conversation, but ask. If you're given the opportunity to talk about your business, take it. I don't care where you are. If someone says, hey, can you tell me about your business? Use it as your opportunity to pitch. Use it. Don't say, oh, I'm waiting till I have everything perfect. No business is perfect. Not even Apple or any of them. They didn't start off perfect. So get that out of your mind. They didn't start off perfect. So be in the mode of how can I get the money, or how can I utilize my network to provide the resources that I need? And everything you do is a pitch. I promise you, it is. So is it easy? No. Well, why would you think business is easy? Why would you think that?
So, yeah. Precious, what do you think is the one thing that really attracts investors when you're pitching? It's like the wow factor, the ultimate thing that, which makes them think that, I want to fund this business.
Rock star confidence. Rock star confidence. Yes, because most people are afraid to step into their greatness. Most people have been beaten down by society, and as they're going to pitch, they think of all the things that they're not realizing.
Negative
It's everything
self-talk
that
as
you
well.
are. It's everything that you are. Khadijah, you may not know this, but I wear different wigs all the time, so I don't look the same all the time. And I've had people since I was young always tell me I was different. Like my clothing style changes, right? I started to wear something like a hot orange today, and I said that might be a little too much to wear a hot orange. But what I if you're gonna be if you're gonna be the messenger of your brand, you have to truly embody the characteristics that your brand stands for. I stand for boldness, audacity, authenticity, and transparency. For some of you, you probably are looking at my mouth like, why there's something wrong with your tooth. So, right before the pandemic, I was at a speaking engagement, and as I was getting off the stage, I was tired, and I fell down the stairs and knocked out my front tooth. So I went to the dentist, and they put a crown on it. I had an appointment scheduled to get an implant. The pandemic hits. There's no dentist office open.
What
The
a
crown.
coincidence. I'm
No,
going to
no,
correct you. I'm saying that's a sheer coincidence. I had it to be fixed, and the pandemic came, and I just couldn't go to the dentist.
right.
It's it's
So,
so
so
many of us. Yeah.
So what I did is, okay, so I was eating something and then my tooth, the crown came off. And I'm thinking, I have all of these trainings, these speaking gigs. And they're virtual. What am I going to do? And because I'm bold and I have audacity, I contacted every one of the hosts and I said, hey, my crown isn't going to sit there right. You can choose to cancel this. I can refund your money or we can postpone. They were like, no, precious. We need you now. So you can say something in the beginning and just show up like you mean it. We've already heard you. No one's going to care about your tooth. You address it and you keep moving. So what that does that teach all of us? If you think you have to be perfect, you don't. If you think you have to look a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way, you don't. If your brand is about standing out, then you should be standing out and stand in your greatness. So people can laugh and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe she only has like one tooth in her mouth." You can say whatever you want to say. I'm booked and busy. Are you? Are you? Am I still booking clients? Are you? Because if not, I don't hear what you're saying. Look at Khadijah like, I ain't got nothing to say.
Sorry, I got lost a bit.
So what I wanted this to do today is to answer a lot of the questions that don't really get answered in like master classes like this, or because I could lecture and I don't want to lecture because I do that all the time. I'm very interactive, so I would love for you to throw things at me, but also at the same time I can throw in stories that tell you that we're constantly being thrown things that tell us we're not good enough. So the one thing I really want you all to pay attention to today is who you are is more important than what you do. When I was on Shark Tank, I was dramatic as I don't know. I was so dramatic. They flew me out to LAX, and then my PA drove me to the hotel. And they don't tell you that, they pay you to be there. They pay you for your day rate. They help you put together your whatever. So there's a lot of things that happen that y'all never know. And when the day came for me to tape, I flew out September 11th, 2016. I filmed on September 15th, 2016. My business coach at the time flew out with me. She stayed out in the trailer while I filmed. I had my full figure divas with me that were California models. So they got paid to be there and everything. And right before they said, Precious, it's your time, I listened to my four songs that I have to listen to before I pitch. Lose Yourself by Eminem, Moment for Life by Nicki Minaj, Bad by Michael Jackson, and Diva by Beyonce. So as they're getting me ready, I'm standing outside the doors. I'm looking at my models. They look so happy. They look like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And I said, y'all, we're going to be dramatic. I had a low-cut canary yellow peplum dress, a big afro, and just beautiful, outrageous makeup. My models were dressed beautifully. And as they opened the door, I thought the music was going to play. And I was fighting back tears because I said so many people all my life told me I would never be on television. I wasn't cute enough. I wasn't small. Like all of these things went through my head. And I thought the music was going to play like when you watch Shark Tank. And it didn't play because I was going to dance. I was like, I don't care what they do to me now because I'm about to go in and do this. So I'm walking down the hall. There's no music. And then the door opens. I walk to my ex. I see the sharks. And when I tell you, it was so surreal. It was like fate and destiny meeting at the same time. And I had been there before. And so I knew how it was going to end. So as a action, and there's no second take at all. It just continued, right? So I'm going in on my pitch. I'm going in. And Mark Cuban is looking at me like, Damon John, glistening, diamonds just glistening. Robert Herjavec, big eyes. Mr. Wonderful. Is this real? And Laura Grenier, spellbound, right? I'm telling you, it was so incredible. And then I said, okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. The door opened and my full figure divas walked and they pranced on their runway and showed them what we are made of. Mark Cuban said, you go, girl. Robert Herjavec said, you are a master. You're a master salesman. You are a master at your craft. And the tears that were in my eyes, but I had to, play it off like, because I really want to be like, stop. You said that to a black woman, a curvy black woman killing it right now. And I want everybody to know I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And so after the model stood in place, the questions began. And, I've been asked every question under the sun. I'm a 13-time national elevator pitch champion. So they didn't ask me anything I hadn't heard before. So as we're going through it, I didn't want a deal. And very few people can ever say that. I didn't want a deal. I wanted the exposure. So when you're creating a pitch, what's your goal? What's your goal? What's your ultimate goal? Some people would say, oh, I want a deal with them. Do you really? Do you really know what's in those deals? You don't. And I knew better. Former attorney, I knew better. So as they're asking me questions and, deals are being thrown and I'm like, oh God, I really have to negotiate. Like I really care right now. I wanted this moment in time, right? So answering the questions. And then slowly one by one, they started to say, I'm out, right? And I was like happy and just like, oh my God, this is really happening. And then it came down to Damon John and Mark Cuban. And the tone changed. And they asked me about my background. And I'm giving it up, former attorney, da-da-da. And then Damon John says, you ought to be so proud of yourself. You've overcome all odds to stand before us and have us spellbound. You're an attorney. You're an award-winning pitch champion. And I don't think you even know what you've done today. Mark Cuban says his thing, and eventually they're out, right? Because I'm not dealing. And as the last I'm out with see it, I turned around, bawled my eyes out, and the producers were like, well, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "There's absolutely nothing wrong. My vision was always correct. What everybody said about me was wrong. They told me as a Black woman I'm going to look stupid. I'm not going to make it. And I proved before Shark Tank that I'm the best in the world at what I do. And I'm emotional about it now because it was a moment I'll never forget. So I go out, I talk to my business coach, and my models are just so happy, they're so excited. And they said, Precious, we're going to do a home visit on you. We're going to come to New York City and film you all around New York City. Because I created my own lane as the killer pitchmaster. I didn't apply to Shark Tank. They came to me. So what I want all of you to know is there's going to be opportunities that come your way because you kept going. Because you refused to lay down when people tell you to lay down. You refused to give up on yourself when everybody else told you it would never happen. When I started as a killer pitchmaster, I never thought that I would be in movies, with Sir Richard Branson and Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I never thought I'd live in Santa Monica and have my PA drive me into the hills of Malibu every day. I never thought I'd film in Milan, Italy with the movers and shakers in fashion. I never thought I'd meet the Tony Robbins of Italy. I never thought that. I never thought that companies would bring me in to rework their messaging. Live in your vision, not your reality. Your reality is always going to dictate it'll never work. Your vision says keep going no matter what. Because if you don't, and it's Tyler Goodwin always says, until you step into your purpose, another woman can't step into hers. Some people need to see it be done to know they can do it. And then there are people, women like me, who just do it, whether they've ever seen it done before or not. So step into your purpose. It will not be easy. People will come at you with get-rich-quick schemes. I have never seen anybody make it with a get-rich-quick scheme. I've never, ever. So yes, Khadijah.
And Precious, do you think that the investors, they have gender biases too?
It wouldn't surprise me. Yes.
Because
it does not surprise me.
Yes, because a lot of startups, by the end of the day, research says that they usually, pitched by men and they make it. But the women, they always have to go an extra mile, whether they are in the States or a developing country like Pakistan.
Right.
Women always have to go the extra mile to prove themselves.
It's true. It's true. We're not going to lie about that. We're not going to lie about that. In all honesty, if people have only been used to seeing certain men at the top, it takes a lot to kick down doors. It takes a lot to break through the glass ceiling. It takes a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes a lot. For some people, they can keep going, and for some others, they can't. That's why I said this isn't an easy game. It's not. Business is not easy. When you see certain women at the top, they went through hell to get there. They did. And if they ran and if they started their own company, the challenges they went through. So the stories that you read in Inc., Entrepreneur, and Fast Company only give you the sanitized version. They don't give you the truth about who said no, who may have sexually harassed them, who said you'll never make it. And they had to keep going. When I started getting investors, or when I won competitions, it was against people who looked nothing like me. for the most part. I didn't go to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or Columbia. I didn't have a cool tech company. And I was 327 pounds. So I was dismissed early. People just thought I was going to talk about food. So when I got on that stage, I would look at my competitors and I feel bad because y'all don't even know what you're about to experience. With me, I'm an experience. I'm not going to pitch. I'm going to give you an experience and give you a tutorial on how it should be done. And it never failed. Out of 13 out of 14 times, I came out on top. But yeah, viruses, yes. I don't know what industry there aren't. I honestly don't know. And that's why having a group like yours, who's going to be there when nobody is? Who can you run to with questions? Who's going to have your back when a deal falls through? Or you've been promised something and it doesn't come through? Or someone broke a contract? Or you were invited to speak and then at the last minute they tell you can't? When you think of fempreneur, or at least for me, I think of a community of women who've gone through very unique experiences, but very similar experiences. And so where else can you come to a safe place and ask real questions? That's why I don't like always presenting PowerPoints in situations like this. I want real questions. I want the real. I don't want sanitized questions. No. Because I want the truth to come out about this. I'm a Black woman. How many Black women get funded? How many women get funded? Tech is the thing, right? Tech is a big deal. What about other companies? Yeah.
So lots of roadblocks. One has to get past them.
And I also think that your network should inspire you and challenge you. So I grew up, I told you, in St. Louis, Missouri, poverty and stuff like that. When I went to school in Atlanta, I saw these beautiful Black teenage women in my college who had been the top all around, boarding schools, money, and they embraced me. Here I am feeling insecure because I didn't come from money. I'm a scholarship student. To this day, I call them my spelling sisters. If I have something coming out, I'm like, hey girl, can you put the word out? My book is coming out. Girl, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna put it out on my network. Okay. Hey y'all, I'm meeting with an investor today. Like yesterday, I had a meeting with a Palo Alto, Silicon Valley accelerator. That was an illuminating conversation. Illuminating. Because I did this global pitch event last week or the week before last. And the women who put on the event, quite a few of them came from Palo Alto. So when I get on the Zoom, one of the woman said, I can't put her name out there on blast, I'm put her on blast, but she says, Precious, we are often inundated with speakers, big names and stuff like that. We don't choose speakers because of their names, because they might just give BS. They might give fluff information. She said, you came so highly recommended from different people that we felt that we could have you speak for 3 hours. And I spoke for 3 hours, right? She said your name was number one in all the, what do you call that? All the surveys. And she said, let's have a real conversation about that because we want to build something from this. And we want to have your voice, your thoughts. Come to Palo Alto. like Silicon Valley. I don't know if you Black people here. Do you see how when you create your own, what starts to happen is that people will invite you in who've never heard your name. You come recommended. They open the door for you. And if you do a really great job, they start bringing you to places that a lot of people don't go. So I just wanted to share that because I was like, oh, wow, so what? Silicon Valley? With all that, because I want to open the door for women of color, Black women. I want them to have the opportunities that I may never have had. And had I not had the talent, I would never be invited. Are there any other questions?
I think that was great. Lots of insight, and we learned like a wealth of knowledge from you. Thank you so much, Precious. And I'm sure the fempreneur community is going to be extremely thankful to you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you. I think.
Good day, the fempreneur community. Again, my name is Precious Williams. My website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And you can reach me on LinkedIn. I'm Precious L. Williams, Killer Pitchmaster on LinkedIn. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch P. On Twitter, I am at Perfect Pitch P. And on Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitches P. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to connecting with all of you. Have a wonderful day. And thank you, Diva, for opening up this opportunity for me.
Please tell us the names of your books as well.
Yes, the name of my two books is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only, written by Precious L. Williams. And then my second book, which debuted at #1 last week, is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the Workbook, written by Precious L. Williams. You can get that at Amazon, you can get it at Walmart. Huh?
I'm saying I'm going to head right on to the online bookstore and get those.
Okay. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for having me. Thank you so much, Khadija.